The truth beneath her silence, a mother's doubt, a daughter's redemption, and a battle brewing in the shadows. In the turbulent world of love, betrayal, and ambition, the story of CEO James and the resilient young woman named Deep unfolds with heartache and hope in equal measure. After a long and harrowing battle with illness, Deep was finally allowed to return home. Her recovery brought a semblance of calm to James's life, an oasis after storms. But peace, as it turned out, was only an illusion. Tong, the man who had silently loved Deep from afar, could no longer stay in the shadows. With a boldness born of desperation, he declared, "I gave you a chance once, but this time, I won't step back." His words weren't just a confession, they were a challenge, directed squarely at James. At the same time, James had just emerged from a career-defining crisis, having successfully exposed John, a once trusted but ultimately corrupt employee. With John imprisoned, James believed stability had returned. But peace was fleeting. Unseen forces were moving. Secrets from Deep's past were about to erupt, and the one person James trusted above all, his mother, would react with devastating uncertainty. A mother's investigation. James's mother had always seen Deep as sweet, polite, and worthy of her son's affection. But she also knew that love alone wasn't enough. As a mother and guardian of the family's legacy, she needed answers. Without James's knowledge, she hired a private investigator to uncover Deep's past. The report came on a rain-drenched afternoon. Deep had been married at 16, legally a minor. Her husband? An alcoholic, a violent man. Their marriage lasted 4 grim years. No children. And worse, she had once been accused of stealing a land deed from her ex-husband's family and pawning it for money. The revelation hit James's mother like a thunderclap. Could the girl she admired truly be hiding such a shameful past? Had her son, the future of their family's name and fortune, fallen for a lie? But doubt, though powerful, was not enough to condemn. She needed to see for herself. And so, she made a quiet call to James. "Invite Deep over for dinner tonight," she said. "I need to speak with both of you." James, surprised and uneasy, complied. The dinner invitation. Deep, now recovering well, had resumed tending her garden and earning a humble living. When she received James's call, she was startled. Was this about her medical expenses? The thought stirred a quiet anxiety. Determined to show gratitude and preserve her dignity, Deep gathered what little money she had and wrapped a basket of her freshest vegetables, an offering of sincerity and humility. When she arrived at James's home, she was met with warm politeness, but an undercurrent of tension hung in the air. As they sat together, James's mother asked about her health, offered gentle advice, and soon the topic turned serious. Deep reached into her bag and quietly placed an envelope of money on the table. "I know my hospital stay was a burden," she said softly. "This isn't much, but I want to help repay you." James's mother paused, visibly moved. She pushed the envelope back. "Keep it, dear. Your health is what matters. We did what we did from the heart. No one is keeping score." And just like that, something shifted. The doubts that had gripped her heart began to loosen. Later, in the kitchen, Deep offered to cook. Her movements were graceful and confident. James's mother, watching from the living room, felt something stir, warmth. Perhaps even admiration. A girl like that, she thought, how could anyone not come to love her? When James came home, he paused in the doorway. There they were, his mother and the woman he loved, sharing space, laughter, and warmth. For the first time, he saw them not as individuals, but as a family, a mother's final test. Over dinner, the atmosphere was intimate. James made his request, to move the wedding forward so he could care for Deep fully. A heavy silence followed. "I'm not against it," his mother replied. "But I'd like to speak with Deep alone." In the quiet that followed, Deep faced the moment she'd long feared. James's mother asked the hard questions, about the marriage at 16, the abuse, the accusations. With a steady voice and brimming eyes, Deep told the truth. She had been lost from her family, adopted, then sold for the price of 2 buffaloes. Her life with Pal, her ex-husband, had been a nightmare. She had endured beatings, humiliation, and eventual abandonment when his pregnant mistress arrived. The land deed? It was a lie. The true thief was Linda, Pal's mistress. The child she carried wasn't even Pal's. And the reason there were no children? Pal had been sterile. James's mother listened in stunned silence. Her heart, once full of suspicion, now broke open with sorrow. "Oh, my poor girl," she whispered, stepping forward and wrapping Deep in a mother's embrace. "From now on, no one will hurt you again. I promise, I will love you like my own daughter." For the first time in her life, Deep cried, not from pain, but from healing, a family forged. When James's mother returned to him, her eyes were softer. "Now I understand," she said. "You fought for her because she's worth it." She gave her blessing, asking only that James love Deep well and never let her suffer again. That night, as James held Deep's hand, he whispered, "We'll have our wedding soon, so I can take care of you every single day." Tears shimmered in Deep's eyes, but they were tears of joy. But the storm isn't over. In a shadowy corner of the story, Tong was moving. He had orchestrated John's release from prison and formed a dangerous alliance. Together, they had one aim: to bring James down and take Deep back, no matter the cost. Love has triumphed for now, but a new war is brewing.